What's up, YouTube? It's Charles Ramaba here, and I'm doing my dreads, and I have some questions to answer. Dan from Springfield, Missouri, sent me a message back in December, and I said, yeah, I'll make a video for you, and months later, here I am. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry it took so long, but, you know, I haven't really been doing my dreads lately. I've kind of like... So actually, I probably should show you guys this to begin with. If you can see here how loose and frizzy all this is here, I've been traveling pretty much nonstop. You can just see like some dry skin here because my scalp got burnt. Yeah, these are really, really frizzy right now. You can kind of see all the frizz there, how loose these are here, and like how loose that is there. You can see a bunch here. So my hair's really frizzy right now because I've been traveling quite a bit. So right now I'm maintaining my dreads. I haven't actually touched my dreads in quite some time now, so I figured I would also show you guys what it looks like when I don't touch up my dreads. You can see that these are all definitely growing out, and they're getting frizzy, and it's very frizzy all around here. So now that I'm doing that, I have the time to do it. I'm going to answer Dan's questions and some other questions. So Dan was asking me if it's bad to get your hair in chlorine. Here's what I would say. I'm not an expert on that exactly, to be honest. What I know is this, is that if you're in chlorine a lot and you're on the sun a lot, you can bleach your dreads a lot faster. As you can see from mine, they're getting very, very light down here at the bottom because they've been in the sun a lot longer, and up here it's much, much darker. Personally, I've been traveling quite a bit lately, so I've been in like Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Florida, Colorado, where was I just recently? Oh, Mexico. All these places. That's why I'm so tan right now. So my dreads have been getting really bleached. I, however, don't ever go into chlorine with my dreads. It's more of a personal choice than anything else. I'd rather, if I'm anywhere near a pool, usually it's by the ocean. So I'm the kind of guy, my hippie kind of guy, sort of. I'd rather go get in salt water and let it, really saturate my dreads with salt water and let it dry. Actually, what I did this last time when I was in Mexico, and actually washed my hair for a week, to be honest. I would just get up every day, go down to the ocean, hop in the ocean, soak my dreads, get them all salty and wet, and then let them dry and let them tighten back up on their own. I think it did a pretty decent job, like they're not super frizzy down here at the bottom. But overall, I would say it's more of a personal choice, I guess. If you want to get chlorine in your hair, that's fine, just make sure you wash it out. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. It can dry your hair a little bit from what I've been told, and it can also bleach your hair faster. But overall, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that have gotten their hair in chlorine and do. It's just never, ever been my personal choice, ever. Even when I first started my dreads, I'd wear like a one of those swimmers caps. And then as I got older and my dreads grew longer, I would just pull them up into a bun, and so that's what I always do. If you look at my Instagram right now, I think there's photos of me with a bun sitting next to the pool because I don't like to get chlorine in my hair. Once again, more of a personal choice. If you want to do it, just know that it may dry out your hair a little faster, and which I guess could lead to breakage, but also it can bleach your hair a little faster, and that's one of those things you have to look out for if you're concerned about that. But you can always dye your hair, I guess, if you wanted to too, but yeah, whatever you want to do. Dan's second question was, how often do I change my rubber bands off my dreads? Because he basically, Dan, here's a little backstory on Dan. Dan is starting his dreads. He put rubber bands at the roots and at the tips. So he was asking when he showers if he should take the rubber bands out, if I take my rubber bands out. I do not, and I get this question a lot actually. So let's go, you ask that, Dan. I do not take my rubber bands out at the tips or anywhere in between my dread unless I have to. Obviously when I redo my dreads, I have to pull out the rubber band so I can retighten it right here. But otherwise, yeah, I don't really take them out when I shower. I just leave them in. Never had an issue. It's not something I really am concerned about either. So I just wash my hair regularly with my dreads, with my rubber bands in, and my dreads normal and everything. And then, if they start to break, I'll pull them out. If I see them start to get really loose, I'll pull them out. I pull them out when I do my dreads. That's the only time I ever take them out. It's kind of a weird thing because people will still like, oh, wow, are your dreads new? You have rubber bands in there. I'm like, no, I'm just, number one, kind of lazy, and I want to help keep them tighter longer and want to do less maintenance, so rubber bands are in. Number two, it's just something I've always done, and I kind of stick with it. Stick with what works, Why not? So there, Dan, I apologize it took so long, but I'm glad I could answer your question. Anyone, if you ever have questions, you can always Instagram me. That's the fastest way to get a hold of me. Like the Charles Ramaba, I check. Charles Ramaba at Gmail, I check. But I don't check it that often. I'm on Instagram pretty much every day because I do photography, so I'm always adding photos or going over photos or commenting on photos or whatever else. I'm always on there. So really, that's the best way to get a hold of me immediately so I can see it and whatnot. If you ever have any other questions about dreads, you can always reach me there. So I'm going to stop this video now, and I'm going to make a new video, and we're going to talk about why I keep changing these hats, because people seem to notice in the videos and they ask, so we're going to do that here in a second. If you guys want to, like and subscribe. I always appreciate when I get a new follower on YouTube because, you know, it's cool. All right, guys. Bye.